Any entrepreneur gets to a point where they struggle with how to price their product or service. And there's something that any entrepreneur who's ever made a significant amount of money knows to do, but maybe isn't willing to share. So in this video, I'm going to share with you how to charge more for your product and get customers and clients who just can't wait to spend a lot of money with you. My name is Susan Sly. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a tech investor. I am the founder of the FemBoss Incubator, which is an incubator that is a voice for the future women of technology. And so if you want to start a company and you have a great tech idea, go to susansly.com, check that out. And I am so excited to be here with you in this episode of Raw and Real Entrepreneurship, where I literally just share tips and strategies that I've lived, that I have observed over the years as an entrepreneur in order to help you succeed. That's my number one goal. Hopefully it helps. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Some of you say the advice is worth what you paid for it, which is absolutely nothing. That's okay too. Anyway, today I want to talk to you about how to charge more for your product or services. And I want to just jump right into it. So when it comes to charging more, one of the things you want to look at is the value of your product and the perceived value of your product. So the actual value of your product is how much did it cost for you to produce that product or service. So that includes everything from production costs. You would incorporate any insurance, administrative costs, the hours it took, the sales and marketing, all of these things, legal, everything that wrap into what does it take to have that product or service reach your end user, your customer. And that is the actual value. Now, where companies and entrepreneurs make a lot of money is increasing the perceived value. And in this video, I'm going to share with you some strategies to increase your perceived value so you can begin to charge more. So when it comes to perceived value can come from a few different places. It can come from adding items to that original item that someone purchased and creating a value around those items. I'm going to talk about that one in a moment. It can come from who is physically selling that product or service. That's why celebrities can charge a lot of money for their products and services, because they've got that celebrity aspect to what it is they're doing. It can also come from adding things to your product offering that are even more desirable to your customer than the original offering, which I know sounds crazy, but it happens all the time. So I want to share with you a few examples of celebrities and entrepreneurs who are creating a crazy amount of perceived value and charging more and selling a ton of products. The first one is Dave Ramsey, and if you've been a follower of this channel for more than a heartbeat, you know I'm a huge fan of Dave Ramsey and Ramsey Solutions and everything he does to inspire people to get out of debt. So Dave Ramsey and his Ramsey personalities, including his daughter Rachel Cruz, Dr. John Deloney, all of the incredible personalities over there, they all write books. And when it comes time for the Ramsey Solutions team to launch a book, they follow the same formula all the time, which takes every single book to best-selling status, and it has to do with perceived value. So the first thing they do is they have the author create the book, and then the second thing they do is they put it in pre-order. Anyone who gets the book in pre-order gets about $300 in added bonuses, and they can include the audiobook, they can include the ebook, they can include some free classes, checklists, that kind of thing. Things that really, once those things are created, they don't cost any money to deliver to that end user. So when you think about it, it's like, I paid $25 for a book, but I got $300 in additional bonuses, it's so easy to say yes because the amount of the value of those bonuses is more than even the book. So sometimes people will buy the book just to get the bonuses and not even read the book. So that's an example of creating perceived value. So in your business, are you able to add on some amazing additions that have a ton of perceived value, but once they're created, they don't really cost you anything? So in my online course, Employee to Entrepreneur, yes, you can. That's the subheading. How cool is that? That course is designed for people who are transitioning from employee to entrepreneur. I go through everything, your sales, your marketing, your branding, how to scale, your accounting, your legal, all of it is like a university level class on how to start a business. Anyone who purchases that course is going to get a ton of additional add-ons that are worth more than what they paid for that class. And so we all love those free bonuses. Think about it this way. If you've ever, gone to the cosmetics counter and they give you all these free samples, maybe that's something you love. Even thinking about if you go somewhere like even, to a sports game and you catch one of the t-shirts from the t-shirt cannon. I know I love that when that happens for my Phoenix Suns. Anyway, it's just this additional bonus that makes you feel like, yeah, I had something special. I got something that other people didn't get. So that is one way to increase perceived value. Another way to increase perceived value is through testimonials and ratings. The more 5-star ratings you have, the more valuable your customers and clients and prospects feel your product or service is. So if you would please go to my iTunes and give me a 5-star review on Raw and Real Entrepreneurship, I would love that. So we have a lot of 5-star reviews. So as a result, I'm able to attract really amazing guests like celebrity dentist Dr. Bill Dorfman and Jesse Itzler, entrepreneur extraordinaire, and the John Lee Dumas and all these people, because the perceived value of my show, even though it's a free show that goes all over the world, is so much higher. So every time your customers, your clients have a great experience interacting with your brand, get a testimonial, get a video testimonial, ask them to rate your business again. That perceived value allows you to charge more. And then the final way you can create perceived value, so we've talked about bonuses, we've talked about ratings and reviews, is to get your peers to also endorse your product or service. And so sometimes people will use, friends who are in, non-competitive sectors, but, who also have followings. That's, for a long time in the book world. My first book I ever wrote, Have It All Women, was endorsed by Jack Canfield and Dr. John Gray. I mean, talk about great endorsements. I've got Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, New York Times bestselling author, and Chicken Soup for the Soul bestselling author. And then another book I wrote, Mark Victor Hansen, who co-wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul with Jack, he endorsed that. I mean, seriously. So the perceived value for me as a new author, because of who is endorsing my book, went up so much higher. So endorsements, and then even using influencers to endorse your product or service, you can obviously pay to do that, or you can send them free stuff. Hey, if you want to send me some free stuff, depending on what it is, I'll take it. And I'll do a review on your product or service. It'll be honest though, I'm not going to lie about it, but those types of things also increase the perceived value. So hopefully today you took away some ways to create more perceived value in your product or service. So think about it. What can you do? Can you add checklists? Can you add a bonus video? Can you add, some kind of thing that really creates more perceived value for your clients and customers, because then you will charge more, you'll have a greater profit margin, people love doing business with you, and ultimately it will help you to grow and scale your business. So with that, this has been another episode of Raw and Real Entrepreneurship. I would love for you to drop a comment below, like and subscribe, and check out a bunch of my other videos. Do a little binge watch on entrepreneurship, and thank you all for tuning in and sharing this video and being here. I love you to pieces. And if you have a video idea for me, go over to susansly.com. just enter there's a comment piece over there my team created, so you can go there, and if there's a topic you want me to do a video on in entrepreneurship, I would love to help you out. So with that, God bless, go rock your day, and I'll see you in a future video.